I've worked in all different scenarios in the last few years, painting in my kitchen, in my dining room, in my living room, in my garage, and even in my laundry room. The one place I haven't painted is my bathroom. Not that I haven't considered it. Do you ever have the thought, man, I really wish I had a dedicated studio. If I don't have a studio, then I'm not gonna be able to have like a successful time being an artist. Sometimes it can feel discouraging, but don't dismay. I have been growing an art business side hustle for a few years now, and I'm also a busy stay-at-home mom with 3 kids from the ages of 16 down to 5. Although having a big, gorgeous studio would be absolutely amazing, and frankly is a goal of mine for my future, it's not required to be a professional artist. Now I use a corner of my master bedroom. I know what you might be thinking, what about the harmful chemicals and paint thinners that you're using? You're sleeping in that room. I take precautions such as using non-toxic paint thinners, good ventilation, and I usually take my big paintings out of the room to dry, especially at night when we're sleeping. I always clean off my palette and my brushes. I put everything away so that the air gets cleared out and is better to breathe. I do appreciate your concern, but also an artist's gotta paint. I make this small little corner of my master bedroom work amazingly for me. But the reason it works so well is that I've broken it down into about 5 zones that make this space really functional so that I can not only make art, but I'm able to film, I'm able to work at my desk and edit videos, make content, because we all have to be content creators now. And then also have a little place for the paints to dry, to store extra supplies and things like that. So let's start with zone number 1. This is my desk area. This desk is really great because I can raise it and lower it. It is a manual one, which when I bought it, I think I was thinking like, oh, there's so much technology, so many things that have to be plugged in, so I would rather not have something just in case it stopped working, so I'll have the crank. Well, now anytime I have to raise it or lower it, I have to sit there and crank it like we used to roll up our windows in the car when we were kids. Maybe that kind of dates me. Oh well, that's okay. Other than that, I think it's great. It's such a good table. It's extremely heavy, but it's super sturdy as well. It's got wheels. It's 4 feet by 2 feet, and it has just enough space for me to have my computer set up and then an area for my paint palettes, my paint supplies when I'm working. I also have attached the canvas phone mount. By the way, I do have a comprehensive supplies list at the top of the description that you can download below. It also includes my Amazon storefront, so you can find most of these products on there. The canvas light is great because I can use it for filming top-down content, vertical content if I'm filming reels. It also has a light attached, and it does have a separate base that I can put it in if I don't want it clamped to the desk. I do love having a laptop stand because honestly, whenever I'm on Zoom calls, I don't really like the look of having the camera coming upwards and giving me a double chin. So I put that up. It also gives me a little space to store some things underneath the laptop, and so that works well for me. Oh, and so the reason that I picked this corner in my master bedroom is because of the natural light. We have this big window. It's probably 6 feet wide and 4 feet tall. It is west facing, so the light does change pretty dramatically throughout the day. Right now it's late morning, so it's a cooler light. In the afternoon it's almost blinding, and I may need to get some darker curtains. But this spot is so good to work in because I'm able to get really good light almost the entire day. Oh, and one note on the chair, it might not be available anymore on Amazon, but I'll try to have it in my supplies list. It's a great little chair. I've had it for like 2.5 years. I've spent countless hours in it. It's not the most expensive chair. I probably spent $45 on it. And the padding is getting kind of smashed down. So if you're looking for a really high quality chair, maybe look for something different, because I honestly don't know how many more years this one's gonna hold up, but it has served me really well, and it looks really nice, which for me is important because I feel like a pretty and nice studio space is inspiring. Also, it makes it more bearable to have my art studio and all of my art stuff in our master bedroom. The second zone is an easel. I always have my easel just off to the right of my desk. That way I can place paints, palettes, whatever I need just to the left of me, and then I'm able to work with my right hand because I am right-handed. For many years, I painted with this inherited easel that I got from my grandpa. He was an artist and he passed away just before I was born. And then my dad was also kind of an artist, so he inherited all of his dad's art supplies. Then as I was growing up, I was always into art, and I was also homeschooled, so I had a lot of time on my hands to rummage around in the crawl space and pull out boxes full of treasures that hadn't been opened in years. And my parents, bless their hearts, were so nice to just kind of let me go. And I would come up with all of these random art supplies, and I'd ask my mom about them, and I would use them. One of the things that they had was this big easel from my grandpa. And I think I started using it pretty regularly in high school, back when I started to take art more seriously. It's come with me everywhere I've gone. I put a lot of mileage on this thing. It is sort of crude. It doesn't have a lot of capabilities. The footprint is pretty wide because it's like a tripod. Earlier this spring, I decided it was probably time to upgrade to another easel for my studio space. I do still use my grandpa's easel. I reached out to Meaden this spring and asked if they would like to work together. And so they sent me this beautiful easel that is nice and compact. It's got a smaller footprint, and it also has a storage drawer underneath, which is amazing. It provides a great place for me to put all of my paints and then also brushes and other things so that it clears off my desk a little bit. Remember, my studio is in my master bedroom, so I am limited on space. So any kind of organizational space saver that I can use is gold. If you want to look into the easel, that will also be in my supplies list, and there should be a discount code in there as well. The third zone that I want to talk about is my little display wall. So I was building out a little collection earlier this spring for a gallery show, and I realized I didn't have any space to put the art. I was painting mostly smaller paintings, and so I thought, actually, you know what, I've got this nice blank wall here. I could use that space great. So what I did was bought these nice little golden tacks that are meant for hanging small pictures, and I put that all over the wall, and it gave me a spot to just kind of randomly hang up the paintings whenever I needed to. And because I use tacks instead of nails, they aren't putting quite as big of holes into the walls, and so I don't feel too bad about placing them differently whenever I need to. I also thought it would be nice to have a little floating shelf, so I grabbed one from our storage that I had from IKEA, and I put that up, and it's been a great spot to store smaller paintings, or if they're not framed or not hangable, they can still be propped up on the wall. And it just also helps to see your work while you're creating more work. Zone 4 is lighting. So we've already touched on the fact that I have this nice natural light, but what about at night when I want to paint when the sun's gone down? There is my normal overhead light in my master bedroom. It's not great, especially because when I'm in that corner, it kind of shines down above and behind me. Not great because it casts shadows straight onto my canvas. Well, I sort of accidentally solved this problem this spring when I was participating in a pop-up art market. We were required to have track lighting to mount on the top of our grid panels. So I invested in this simple track lighting that I got from, I think it might have been Amazon. And it has five track lighting light bulbs, and it worked beautifully for the art market. When I brought it home, I realized, oh my goodness, I can put this right up over my studio corner. And so I did. I put up these brackets that made it so that I could just slide the track right into those brackets. It has a little toggle on and off switch down by the desk. The nice thing about this setup is that I can remove it for future art markets whenever I need to. Zone 5 is my little storage cupboard. And this is the place where I stick anything and everything that I do use every so often, but not often enough for it to be out where I can see it all of the time. Little side note, I do have a lot more supplies than this. All of that is down in a corner of our basement, and it's slowly growing, and I'm a little bit nervous about that, but we'll deal with that later. Now, here are a couple of little bonus items which help to make this little corner studio work really well. I recently found this little pop-up TV tray from a thrift store for like $8, maybe $5, and it has been invaluable because honestly I felt like my desk at my easel just wasn't enough surface space, and so now I'm able to pop this up off to the right, and I can put either my laptop with my reference photos, or I can put more supplies, my palette, whatever I need, and then I have surface on the left of my easel and a surface on the right to work with. Another addition that I got this spring was a functional and pretty garbage can from IKEA. I did want to make sure this one had a lid on it because of all of the dirty rags and things that I'm throwing into the trash can that do have paints and fumes on it, and it's nice because I can just close the lid and I don't smell anything. I've been working in this space for about 9 months now, and I am happy to say that it is working amazing for me. The main challenge is probably just the fact that it's hard to work on large paintings in this space, but I have made that work as well. Also, we did get a cat this spring, and he has jumped up onto my wet palette and tracked wet oil paint paw prints throughout the house, so that has been interesting, trying to keep him out of here. I'll continue to use this space to finish up that large painting for a museum submission. I am getting back into filming more again, which leads me to what I have coming up next month. The doors to my art licensing course, Canvas to Contracts, are opening again, and if you would like to learn more about art licensing, you can watch this video right here.